Hi, I'm Emmitt, a producer and director for the documentary film on police brutality against persons with disabilities, entitled Where is Hope? The documentary will explore the roots of these often emotional and sometimes unbelievable acts of brutality by law enforcement against citizens with disabilities.
I can't believe this. How did you see this? I'm not a demigod, no closer to Jesus. The Dwight Harris deserved to go through this. Get grabbed, dumped, thrown till his face split. It's so rhetorical, we don't need no asking. It's so cancer. Thank God for the camera phone. All these thugs in suit that have stretched the truth to home. Dwight was no threat or harm to them, but he still got humiliated before his friends. These other times seem no one's safe, not even from those who serve.
When these atrocities are summarily dealt with by little or no substantial consequences to the offenders by the law enforcement administrations and local governments, then it is clearly a signal to us that they are willing to turn a blind eye to these acts of injustice against people with disabilities. So we must act to change that sad reality, and we must do it now.
We're here, brothers and sisters, for justice. But when we have a senseless act as this, one of an autistic youth who has been incarcerated, beat down, abused by the justice system, accused of a crime he has not committed, one who needs help. We need to stand together, pull together, pull together. Prayer is good, but action is better.
Reginald Latson is a precious young man. He stepped out of his house on May 24, 2010, and he never returned.
He was just going to the library, doing everything right, just waiting for the library to open when someone called in stating that they saw a black male in a hoodie with a possible gun.
After my son was found not to have any weapon on him, the police escalated the situation.
So a scuffle arrived. Okay, he's taken into custody.
He was convicted of 10 years.
10 years.
In a state penitentiary.
We're here on behalf of Reginald Neely Latson, a wrongly incarcerated young man.
And we're pleading to Governor Bob McDonnell.
Pardon this young man or give him a clemency so he can go and get the proper medical help that he needs.
The community must come together, stand together.
The only reason why he's incarcerated, first of all, is because of the color of his skin.
We're talking about rats in his cell.
Because he has a neurologic condition.
We must fight back.
The problem of police brutality is not a new one. Because of the lack of proper report taking that does not identify people with disabilities, it has been an obstacle to adequately document the actual number of these incidents.
In March, police shot and killed a knife-wielding man at 1545 Rhinelander Avenue in the Bronx. It turns out he was mentally disturbed. Over the years, there have been several controversial cases of mentally or emotionally disturbed people being killed by police. Kyle Coppin was killed in a hail of police bullets in Brooklyn in 2007. He yelled he had a gun. The teen had a hairbrush. In 2008, Iman Morales, totally naked, was on a store awning waving a light bulb at police. They tasered him. He fell to his death.
This is not new, and it is not isolated to one neighborhood. It is across the state and in other states.
And we must let the system know that we are tired of what's happening.
Well, obstacles is what my life is all about, so I welcome this challenge. Some of our collaborators and team members include Leroy Moore Jr., founder of Krip Project.
Yeah, I go back to my youth. You know, my father was a Black Panther, so I was born on the protest lines almost, you know. And because of that, I picked it up and followed cases ever since I used to live in New York and Connecticut when I was like a teenager, you know. And of course, being disabled, I was like, okay, how about people with disabilities? And that's when I started talking about it, started going to police commissions about it and really finding out that the cases is just incredible. But the thing is, the key element in every case, disability wasn't brought up. From the beginning, I've always questioned authority. I've always questioned what authority has passed down to the young generation. Hate crimes, people with disability that I've constantly put police brutality on the agenda, because, police brutality doesn't come up, so it goes overlooked because they're called the disabled leaders, busy around curb cuts and things like that. We can protest for curb cuts if, black disabled people are being killed by police and they're not going to enjoy the curb cuts.
Lamisha Irizarry, founder of the Idris Steele Foundation, named after her son who was murdered by the San Francisco Police Department.
Rowdy protesters shut down 3 BART stations tonight.
And it happened right in the middle of the evening commute.
And tonight's protest was a response to a fatal shooting by BART police.
That's right. A man armed with a knife was killed at the Civic Center station a week ago.
Those who were involved in the demonstrations had no regret over the disruption they caused.
What about the disruption to all the families of loved ones who have been killed by law enforcement? Nobody seems to cover that.
DJ Quad in LA, working on the mixtape project.
I was going down the street with a girlfriend, and police officers roll up next to me. And he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" "I'm pretty good." He goes, "Hey, who shot you?" I looked and said, "Excuse me?" He goes, "Yeah, who shot you, man? Come on." And I was like, "Oh, man." I looked at him like, "Oh, I want to go off on you." And she's like, "Oh, just be quiet, don't say nothing." And I was like, "Man, don't even worry. You know what? That's none of your business." And he's asking me, "Hey, where are you from?" And I was like, "Oh." I think I'm more mature than you to even answer that question. And we're coming home at 3 o'clock in the morning. We promote the whole show. We had to close the club. And there's 6 of us in the car. And it just so happened to be my friend had a 1940, Chevy Bomb. And it was kind of messed up. It was all like an old mobster car. And we're driving home, and they're like, you got to get off the car. Like, well, shoot, you got my chair in the trunk. You better put that sucker together and carry me to the curb, because I'm not going to crawl on my butt. And he's like, "We got to check you for weapons." And I was like, "Man, you crazy." And he's like, "Oh, well, you think this is a joke?" I was like, "No, I'm just saying. I think you're crazy for even, telling me this stuff." He goes, "We know that you guys in wheelchairs, you carry guns, you carry knives. You guys still do your thing. You don't learn your lessons." And I was like, "Oh, my God, I don't believe this guy's telling me this." And then my friends were like, "Hey, man, why don't you guys leave him alone?" And then they go in there, roughing these guys up and tell them, "Why don't you guys just sit there and, keep your mouth shut?" And they're using, bad language and stuff, and just going like, whatever. I mean, yeah, we figure, oh, yeah, they're doing their job, but it's like, nah, we're 6 guys in the car, all Latin, 3 o'clock in the morning. They think we're coming off of doing who knows what. And I'm like, look, here's a flyer that I came from. We're all sober. We haven't had a drink in us. I go, and we're just going home from a long day of work.
Activist Keith Jones of Boston. All these people with disabilities are concerned citizens.
If America is to be America, and as an African American, we have a very unique love-hate relationship in this country. We have a very schizophrenic relationship with America, because on one hand, we believe in the ideals that are espoused by the Constitution, and everything is prophetic, and then we had Barack Obama get elected, which meant, there were kids who were who never knew that you couldn't date a white woman. Look, I'm hoping that when I'm 65, that I don't have to worry about ever anybody saying they want to pray for me or heal for me again because they feel sorry for the condition I'm in. Just understand that I'm human. And oh, by the way, I just so happen to have a mobility impairment that makes it difficult to move up and down the steps. Or it makes it harder to grab a knob as opposed to hit a handle. But it does not lessen my humanity. And I hope that's what this movement will do, is human. It's sad that I'm a human and I'm asking to be humanized. So I'm hoping that that's what this project will do.
Plus many more artists and concerned citizens from across the country. How do we expect to make this documentary adventure happen for all of us? That's where we need your help. Because of the cost associated with travel and filming in many states and cities, we need funds to be able to interview and document those across the country who may have much truth to add to the story. So, give what you can and tell others about our efforts. And of course, don't forget to take advantage of all the wonderful perks available for you. Join us at our support website now at www.whereishope.webs.com. You get all the updates. You can follow us weekly on our adventure together. We believe that this issue is of such importance to all of us that not doing it is not an option.
And I say that in the name of God, amen.
Where is hope when the courts rules in different ways, where the poor get slaved and the one with money gets away? Where is hope, I tell you, where is hope? 'Cause hope been hoping for a long time, and it's still the same.
Yeah.